Hey everyone, my name's Christy. Welcome to my corner. Thanks so much for joining me today for Flosstube Friday. This is Flosstube number 26. And today I have a lot to talk about, I think. I did a bunch of stitching. I think I touched just about everything. I did some sewing. I have a really fun fabric haul that's you can kind of see right here. And I have the giveaway winner to announce, so that's really exciting. But before we get to all of that stuff, I want to welcome all my new subscribers. Thanks so much for joining me on my crafting and stitching adventures, and welcome back everyone who's been hanging out with me for these past months or weeks or however long you've been with me. It has been so nice to chat with you in the YouTube comments and also on Instagram. I've been loving seeing all your stitching on Instagram. It's like just so inspiring. So thank you so much for, I don't know, being a part of my stitchy community. If you're not following me on Instagram, you can find me there at Dr_Christy, and I post pictures of my works in progress, and I post pictures of baking that I don't film and stuff that I do film, and cooking in life. I mean, it's sort of like my social space. So it's mostly stitching, but there's other stuff thrown in as well, including my adorable dog who is right over there. This is a channel about embroidery and other textile crafts and history and the history of those things. So if any of that is interesting to you and you are not subscribed, I would love to have you subscribe and stick around. So I am feeling actually quite energetic, which is nice. I got some like not good, I got some bad news today. I can't really talk about it because it has to do with work and the fact that I'm like a public employee, like a state employee. So I can't really talk about it, but I'm really bummed out. I have to be honest with you. It's nothing really terrible, but it's just kind of a bummer. And so if I ever seem a little bit low energy, like lower energy than normal, that's why. But I figured what could be better than talking to stitchy friends about stitching and sewing, right? Like, I mean, that's got to make you feel better. I can't imagine it won't make me feel better. So let's do that then. I also put on a little red lip. I'm like, I'm going to zhuzh myself up a bit. I put on a little red lip, a little mascara, and make myself feel really fancy. So I did, and I'm already feeling better, which is nice. All right, I have some finished objects. Well, no, that's not true. I have a finished object. I have a bunch of whips. I've been kind of, like I said, touching all my pieces this week. I don't have any new starts or anything. Yeah, so let's get started. My finished object is, well, I have two. I've been making some project bags. So this is Angie's project bag that she won a couple weeks ago. And it's the book fabric, right, that I got. And she wanted a unicorn interior. So this is the project bag that I made for her, and I'm really pleased with it. So this is my finished object, and this will be going out on Monday with a couple other goodies too. So Angie, it's done, I promise. I made myself one too, but my bookshelf project's in it, so I will show you that when I show you my bookshelf. I also have finally finished these scarves so that they're ready to stitch on. I decided that I had to do some kind of a seam on this edge because after it got washed, it got a little, not all, well, I mean, it got fluffy because it's linen, but you know, I wasn't really confident that these tassels here, so you can't really see the tassels, that these tassels would stay tasseled, and I decided that I needed to put a seam, like, you know, sew a row there. But the problem is that I'd already washed it. And so when I was sewing just like a straight seam, it sort of bunched up a bit, which was looking really not cute. And luckily I'm keeping half of them. So I just sort of used mine for practice. But I finally came up with a solution that I'm really happy with. And I used a small zigzag, and the way it kind of gathered the threads in the fabric makes it look like a faux hardinger, like a whitework hardinger where you remove threads and it makes really pretty designs. And I just really like how it turned out. I mean, look how, to me, that's just beautiful. Like, that is a really nice finished like edge that I know is going to be secure and I'll go through washes, and I'm really, really pleased. So I know I'm jumping into plans here and I'm out of order, but I am like totally starting stitching on mine this week because they are ready to go and I am so ready to stitch on them. We'll talk more about plans later on. So those are my finishes, right? The project bag is an absolute finish. No quotes needed. Take those quotes away. But the scarf I've been calling a finish for like 3 weeks now, and I just need to stitch it and actually like finish it, right? I just need to stitch on it. So that's that. And those are my finishes. So let's talk about my whips then. I've been working on my Jane Austen bust, my floral Jane Austen bust, and I am loving how it's turning out. I added the green, which is Coloring Cotton Chartreuse. Oh, it's sober. There we go. And it like literally looks like it's glowing. And I love it. It's like subtle, but really kind of glowy. And I am totally here for that. It's stitched just on a cotton remnant, which it is just gray with a nice white petit point, right? Small dots. And it uses that chartreuse. It uses Coloring Cotton Khaki, which is part of my haul from Fat Quarter Shop. I got another Coloring Cotton Khaki. Whew, it's quite alliterative. And I realized that today is my first February Flosstube Friday. I love alliteration. Anyway, Coloring Cotton Khaki. It's using Coloring Cotton Plum Wine. And then it's using an unnamed Dying for Cross Stitch that I think was a one-off. But if you watch my video from last week, I'll put it right up here, my Flosstube from last week. I do talk about a couple DMC variegated options if you want to reproduce this look. So check that out for some DMC alternatives and conversions. I worked on my Hildegard of Bingham's Cosmic Egg a little bit. My goal was to finish up all of the black in this area, and it just didn't happen. I think that last night was the first time I actually worked on it, and I got like this much done. It's just the black, just like black fill is such a slog is kind of the problem. And I think I'm gonna feel something similar when I'm doing the yellow fill all around here. I mean, it's even more. So I do need to get going on this though, because this is not gonna stitch itself. And so this is my Cosmic Egg by Hildegard of Bingen, who is a medieval nun who had sort of visions of God. And this is a picture of the universe. Here's what it'll look like when it's completed. And I posted a video about Hildegard of Bingen, which I'll put right up here, and you can check her out. She was really kind of amazing, and she's my favorite medieval person. And this is just stitched on a cotton linen blend yardage from Fat Quarter Shop in Natural. And the flosses are a mess, but are various and are from various companies because I went with color as opposed to the company or like number. I was trying to match colors in the original, and so there's some Coloring Cotton, there's some DMC, there's some Dying for Cross Stitch, there's some DeVere yarns. Yeah, but it's all cotton. So those are the threads I'm using for this, and I just love the color palette. It's like it's bright and yet also soft and light, which I appreciate. And then there's also black along with this. So I want to add that I know it's hard to tell on camera, but this blue is actually watercolor paint, so it's not actually stitched. And there are going to be a couple other places that are going to be not stitched. So I have another watercolor area, another blue area, and then I also have an area that's going to be gold leafed. And I had a request to film the gold leafing as a tutorial when I get to that point, and I will absolutely do that. And I will, of course, practice first, because by that point I will have put a lot of hours into this, and I don't want to like screw that up. But I will have that when I get to that point, so you can look forward to that. My sense of time is totally whacked. So like, I don't remember if I showed you this, but I am doing the Peppermint Purple black work stitch along for 2021, and I am 2 weeks behind, but I completed week 3, which is right here. So this is week 3, and this is just on a 14 count black Aida, and I'm using some variegated Bee Stitch Me silks. Well, that's not true. I'm using one variegated Bee Stitch Me silk in Happy is the colorway, and it is like hot pink, hot orange, like fluorescent orange, fluorescent yellow, and oh, I have some stuck to me. And then the outline is in Dying for Cross Stitch, and this is like a Halloween green color. Again, it's not available all the time. She kind of dyes in small batches, but I do have a Bee Stitch Me fluorescent green that was a close second, but this one was just like a tad bit brighter, so I chose this one. And I don't remember if I showed you that, but that is my black work stitch along. I have 2 more weeks that I need to do, but they're kind of small, and so I think that I can do them. And my final whip is my temperature bookcase that I've been stitching with my mom. And here it is. This is the January shelf. So we got all the way to the end, and I have to say that Mississippi is such a great place to live for a temperature pattern, because our temperatures, like our weather, is so variable. Like you never know from day to day what's going to happen in your weather. And this is in my project bag that I also made for myself, which is the Day Unicorn. So it's very similar to Angie's that I'm sending out to her, but it's Day Unicorns instead of Night Unicorns. And I love these. And I'm going to make 2 more, at least 2 more, right? Like I have 2 more cut out. So I'm going to do them. And this is stitched on a linen yardage from fabricsstore.com. And I'll put a link to all this stuff down below. And I am doing and this is my pattern. So if anyone's interested in stitching it, it's on my Etsy shop. I'll put the link down below. And I'm using the called for the most part, DMC colors. There were a couple that I couldn't get. Like they weren't available. But I think that's okay. As long as it's a rainbow, that's all that matters. And so I have 20 colors, and I am stitching it. So I have this pattern in my Etsy shop, like I said, in a cross stitch version and in an embroidery version. So you can have your choice there. And I just released today the Knickknack Expansion Pack. I'm so excited. I added some more stuff to it. It has 78 little motifs. I'll put a picture of it right here so you can see it. I added 2 little dragons, one for like the top of the shelf, and one for that like sits on top of the shelf, and one that sits inside the shelf. And I hope you guys really enjoy it. So that leads me to the giveaway from last week, which was a free copy of the Knickknack Expansion Pack. And this Knickknack Expansion Pack, I just like saying the name, honestly. It's the little motifs fit in the various places in the cross stitch pattern. I only have a cross stitch version right now. And I did that because the cross stitch version was overwhelmingly more popular than the embroidery version. And so I wanted to get that out as quickly as possible. I will be working on the embroidery version in the next few weeks and have that hopefully sometime next month. So that is coming. But anyway, I have a cross stitch version, and I had a giveaway to give away a copy of this, a PDF version of this, and the winner of the Knickknack Expansion Pack from last week is Crafty Emily. Yay, Crafty Emily. We are friends on Instagram, so if you want to just shoot me a message on Instagram with your email address, and I will send you a PDF of the pattern, and then you can have that and stitch that. So I look forward to seeing that in your shelf. And I love that, like, so Emily's doing the highs and the lows. So her books are looking really cool. Like they're like split in half. They're very cool. And so I hope that the new knickknacks or your knickknack choices, I think will really complement your exciting books. So congratulations. And thanks everybody for being interested in getting the pack. I had 10 comments. I had 10 comments, so that was really cool. Speaking of comments, I think there might be something weird about YouTube comments, because there have been a couple times where I've gotten a comment from someone and it'll show up in my alerts, and then I'll go to find the comment and the comment won't be there. And so I'm not sure what's going on. So I, as of now, comment on everyone's comments. So like if you comment, I will like respond to you, because like I say at the beginning of every one of my videos, I love chatting with you on in the comments and on Instagram, but in the comments on YouTube. Like the reason why I started making videos is because I am an extrovert who has been isolated since March. I'm really strict. Well, I'm really strict about seeing people and going out. And it's really difficult for me as an extrovert who really wants to kind of spend time with people all the time to be isolated. But I'm doing it to keep other people safe, right? Like I'm doing it because I have the privilege to not have to go out. I can work from home. I can order things online, right? Like I have that privilege and I want to keep other people safe. But it was really affecting my mental health. And that's why I started this channel, to talk to you all about stitching, right? I wanted a stitching community that understood why I was so excited about stitching and other crafts. And I found you, and you are why, and like talking to you in the comments is like why I'm doing this. So I don't know if like people deleted comments and so that's why I can't find them. But if I haven't commented on your comment, it's because I can't see it. And this happened before, and like the comment popped up like a month later. So if I've not commented on your comment, I'm really sorry. I think something weird's going on with YouTube comments, because I know there's at least one person who has commented and I got an alert for it and then I couldn't find the comment. So yeah. So just so you know that that's going on. Let's talk about haul. You saw the thread haul. So I basically got a box from Fat Quarter Shop and I got some amazing fabric. I am so excited about this fabric. I don't even know how to explain how excited I am about this fabric. So I'm just going to show it. I got a lot of some of it. This is a reproduction of Leonardo da Vinci's handwriting like notebook. I love this so much. It really looks like the documents that I use in my research, and I want to make a dress out of this. I got 5 yards of this, and I think I won't need 5 yards for a dress, so I want to use it for stitching. I want to make like a project bag out of it. I don't know, but I'm going to use this for like all sorts of things. But for now, I'm just going to like enjoy having it. So I got this, which is amazing. I mean, it's amazing. Right, so that's from Fat Quarter Shop. Well, they're all from Fat Quarter Shop. They also had the images from the notebook. How excellent is this? This also, I think, would make really good stitching, like a really good hoop stitching material, because it is so light, right? It's a light background, whereas this is like much more bold. This is not. I got 5 yards of this as well. I want to wear that too. And then there were quilt panels. I love me a quilt panel. Those of you who don't know, I'm a medieval historian. I'm a history professor, and I go to conferences and I present research at conferences about the Middle Ages, usually about medieval law and women in marriage and stuff like that. And I'm kind of known for wearing interesting dresses, which is why it is not surprising to anyone who knows me that I got these two fabrics here for dresses. And then I saw this quilt panel of The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. It's gonna be a skirt. I got 2 panels. I'm so excited. So when we can do conferences in person again, I will be the belle of the ball. at my conferences. So that's really fun. So these are kind of my fun historical. Ugh. They fold them so nice at Pet Quarter Shop, and then I can't get them back in the same thing. That's why I didn't unfold those big ones. Like I said, I got these both at Pet Quarter Shop, and I'm really pleased with them. This one is not going to go into a project bag or anything. This is just for me to make a skirt out of. So I got all those Leonardo da Vinci fabrics by accident. I didn't know they were going to be there. I didn't know they were there. They were basically like recommended, right? The algorithm recommended them. The reason why I went to Fat Quarter Shop that day was because they had posted on Instagram that they had Bob Ross fabric. Bob Ross fabric! Oh my God. How could I not get fabric that was Bob Ross heads? Like, I love this so much. I don't even remember how much I got, but this is a pretty thick piece of fabric. So it's definitely going to be a project bag. It may turn into a shirt. Oh, I also got more book fabric that's in there. That's why this is so thick. I think I got 2 yards of this Bob Ross fabric, but I mean, I'm like speechless. Like, I want this to be a shirt. I want to wear Bob Ross's head on my shirt. So that is my most fun. Well, maybe not my most fun, but definitely my funniest fabric haul to date, I think. And then they had some quilt panels, some smaller quilt panels of his paintings, of some of his paintings. And they're happy little trees. Like, I swear I saw him paint this one. I swear I did. And then it also has like these nice like paintbrushes. Like, this was all supposed to be part of a quilt that I'm not going to make. But I just think that these are really nice. And, you know, one each for like a project bag would be really lovely, I think. I could wear it too. I could make it into a skirt. I don't know. I have so much fabric that I'm like, I'm going to make that into a dress. And then, have I made them into a dress? No. No, I haven't. I have not made them into a dress yet. Maybe I just need to accept I'm not going to make them into a dress, that I'm just hoarding them. And that kind of brings me to something else that I want to talk about really quickly. I was watching Just Get It Done Quilts. She was talking about, I'll post a link to her videos below if you don't watch her. But I really like her because she has like good organizational tips. She has good sewing tips, and I do some sewing. So I was watching one of her videos and she was talking about organizing her space, and she had this beautiful box of like Aurifil thread, right? That was like really nice, really gorgeous in this gorgeous box. Basically, her tip about that was that you need to take the thread out of the box and put it out, or else you won't use it, because if it's in the box, it feels too precious to use. And I used to have this problem a lot, where if I really loved something that was like consumable, like fabric or a candle that I loved, like I wouldn't use it. I'm trying to not be like that. And I watch Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish every night at 8:30. And she talks about like honoring her fabric, right? Like, you honor your fabric by using it in something. And so I'm really going to try to, you know, the fabric that I'm saving to make a dress out of, but I haven't made a dress out of in like 2 years. Maybe I just need to use it for something else. I have this amazing gray fabric that has like really delicate bird cages on it. Like, how gorgeous would that be as a background to an embroidery piece? I mean, it'd be really gorgeous. So I think I'm going to try to not have things be so precious, right? Like, yes, this is amazing, and I may not be able to get more of this, but if I just like hoard this fabric and don't use it, it doesn't honor the fabric, right? It doesn't honor the person who made the fabric, who designed the fabric, who produced the fabric. It doesn't honor them and their work, just like hoarding it. Using it does. Anyway, so I was just kind of thinking about that, and I just wanted to bring that up because it really is kind of a profound way to look at, I don't know, what we do, right? We have, you know, I have fancy floss, but I don't want to use it because maybe like, for example, my Jane Austen bust, that variegated floss, I can't get anymore. So maybe I won't use it. But of course, she dyed that to be used, and it would be such a shame to not use it. Anyway, I was just thinking about that, right? That we need to honor our craft materials by using them the way they need to be, the way they should be used. And I just think that that's a very nice way to think about it. And I'm hoping that it will help me to use the fabric that I have and the floss that I have and make, hopefully, beautiful things out of them. Anyway, there you go. There's your little philosophy for the day. I also wanted to say that a couple weeks ago, I showed linen dish towels that I had made, and they were really simple to make and really inexpensive. And I have to say that they are seriously the best dish towels I've ever had in my entire life. I'm going to put a link again to the fabric down below. So if you want to, it's just like 2 seams on each dish towel, and you get 4 dish towels out of 3 yards of fabric. They are amazing. And I think I'm going to buy more fabric in the next couple weeks once I work on some of this fabric and make more dish towels because I love them so much. So I just wanted to say that as well. And I think that that's it for like haul and philosophizing. So let's talk about plans. I have a bunch of plans, and I have some, I don't know, exciting things happening. So there is a sort of finish it February vibe happening, and I am here for that because I really want to like get whips out of my little basket that sits next to my chair, I guess, is where I want to get rid of them. And the main one that I think I'm going to focus on is the bust. I think that's the only one that I can really finish this, like, in the next, I mean, I could, if I focus on it, finish it next week. And then I could have like a clean slate because I have 4 current working whips that sit next to my chair, but I have other things that I want to do. I have other projects that I want to do. I keep having ideas of things I want to stitch. I never started the Amanda Gorman poem for my friend. I promised one of my ex-students a Middle Earth Lonely Mountain piece that I haven't even started. I have the hoop right there that's been stained for it, and I haven't done anything with it. I definitely want to start working on my scarves and embroider on them. So like I have all these things I want to do, but I'm feeling like, I guess I'm not one of those people who can have like 30 whips at the same time. Works in progress. I just can't do it. I think it's just overwhelming for me and I can't do it. So I definitely want to finish something this week. I do want to make a couple more project bags and get that space cleaned up because my dining room table is now a mess. That's why my sewing machine's not here. Oh, I also found some amazing pattern books. I found some embroidery and lace pattern books from the 16th century, and I love them. And what I discovered is that Elizabethan era, although not necessarily England, but that time period, the lace patterns are perfect for cross-stitch patterns. And I have this cross-stitch pattern program that I own now, and I really enjoy making patterns, and I kind of want to turn these lace patterns into embroidery, into cross-stitch patterns and maybe embroidery patterns. And so here's the 2 that I'm working on. So I'll just put little pictures up here. It's a harpy and a dragon, and I'm like almost done with it. It is going to be 3 colors. It's going to be, they're kind of paired together facing each other, and it looks so good. It really looks so good, and it's so much fun to like make these patterns. So you will be seeing early modern, medieval and early modern interpretations of these embroideries popping up in my Etsy shop randomly. So if you're interested in them, I'll show them when they drop in my Etsy shop, but this is not going to be like a Buy My Patterns YouTube channel, so don't worry about that. I just am really enjoying making these patterns, and I think I'm going to try and stitch them. I stitched the bookmarks, which you saw last week, I think. If not, well, I'll put a picture here. I did a photo shoot. I'll put a picture here of the stitching that I did last week, like in the past week. Maybe I didn't show you that. Well, anyway, you'll see it now. And that's my first counted cross stitch I've ever done. And they're very small, so I knew I could handle them. And these are much larger, but they're not very many colors. And so I think that, and there's not a lot of counting in between things. So I think that I can actually handle it. I think it's like I don't know. And I'll do it on Ada and it'll be nice and easy. Anyway, so you may see that coming up too. You may see some cross stitch, which I did not think was going to be the case, but I'm going to try. And I guess practicing may help that. I also discovered that my video editing software has built-in music and animations. So I'm going to play around with those in the next few months. I don't really have time to really like dig into it right now, but so you may be seeing some new intros and outros and music. I don't know. Things may look weird for the next few months while I kind of tweak and play with different kinds of things. So you have that to look forward to. Aren't you so excited? And I think I have my notes here. I think that's it. Oh, one more thing. My Tuesday video, well, I'm supposed to get a stitchy box on Monday or Tuesday. And it is the Stitchy Box D-Stash box. And if that comes on Monday or Tuesday, it will be the unboxing of that will be my Tuesday video. I'm just going to unbox it and show you all what's in it. If it does not come before Tuesday, I probably won't have a Tuesday video because I have work stuff that needs to happen that I really want to do. I was a little bit behind because of my tenure and promotion application that went in last month, and I'm still kind of trying to catch up. So if I don't post a video, it's because my stitchy box didn't come, and I'll post that when it comes, or I'll film that when it comes and post it. And I think that's it. This is a long one. Wow, this is a long one. I hope that I don't know, maybe it inspired you or made you think about things or makes you want to stitch more. I've been loving hearing that my videos have like inspired people to start stitching again, and I love that so much. Like I want a whole stitchy community because it's like, it brings me so much joy. And Emily, please message me on Instagram and I will get you with your email address, and I will get you a PDF of the Knickknack Expansion Pack. And if you want to pick up the Knickknack Expansion Pack, you can find it in my Etsy shop, and I'll put a link to my Etsy shop below. So now I'm done, and I'm going to go and have some ice cream and mope a little bit and stitch. Yeah. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week. Please take good care of yourselves and have a good one. Bye.